All right. Good morning and good day, Blab. It's your girl, Hotep Sophia, also known as Dominic Rebel. This is today's version or edition of Good Day Blab, where we take the news straight from the Blab timeline and bring it here. And I try not to do too much commentary. Try to keep the show to about 30 minutes so that you can see what's going on the internet, get your information real quick, and go ahead on about your day. Of course, you can follow me on the Blab at Dominique Rebel, or if you just look up Hotep Sophia, I will also come up. Um, or go to hotepsophia.com. That has all of the links to my Blab TV and Blab and all of that. So let's take a look at some posts and see what's happening. I have seen lots of stuff happening, so I was like, today we have to do a show. First, let me talk about this Ahmaud Arbery thing because I think, again, people have not done their research and they want to put this situation with Ahmaud in the same category as like uh, the Wakusha incident and these other incidents, or even Kyle's incident. It's not the same. Like, the biggest difference between what is going on with the Ahmad case, and thank goodness those people were convicted because they actually did kill him in cold blood. And that's the difference. Like, you can't just automatically lump everything together. And I know that there's a lot of people on the Blab who live in either multicultural communities or single cultural communities, and there's not very much diversity, or there's a lot of diversity and you don't see these problems. However, um, I've always been a Southerner, right? So, like, before, I was in a predominantly black county, which was a far different experience than now where I'm in a mixed county. So, uh, and I'm further south. So, that being said, I think that there's a lot of little things in the South that if you're not a Southerner, you might not get, or if you're not black, you might not get. That is different. So, for example, when I was a majority um, person in my community, um, the color crimes were a little bit different. Like, the crimes that happened were a little bit different. It was a lot of domestic violence and stuff like that, like where I'm from, because there wasn't a lot of interracial, either really mingling, really, and just in general, there wasn't like a bunch of interracial stuff. But when you get into communities that are recently mixed, and I think that this is something that people really should think about, is like, this neighborhood, I don't know if it was a new neighborhood that Ahmad was in or was a neighborhood that was being converted, but here's the thing, when you are in a county and it's a small county, and all of a sudden the developers start coming in and building up more and more houses and bringing in more and more people, and really disrupting your way of life culturally, then you start to have a lot of problems. And I think that this may be that type of thing, because um, I only say this because I went down to the coast of Florida over Thanksgiving weekend, and to visit one of my Twitter friends. Hey, Tina! Yeah, and I noticed that when I was driving through Levy County, that they literally had signs up that say, "We don't want no developments. Don't bring no developments here. We're gonna protest against them." Like, they don't want these big, huge, like, developments like they have in Jacksonville, where they do have a lot of developments, and that just brings in a lot of people with different values, and they don't really assimilate because they're staying in their houses. So when you have a lot of that type of thing coming into your community, you have people coming in who don't fit with the community. And I think that some of the more rural areas are starting to figure that out, like Levy, and they're saying, no, we don't want it. Forget about the tax revenue. Who needs the tax revenue? So you can pay yourselves more, go move somewhere else then if you don't like it. That's really what's being said. And so I think that that may be part of the problem is you just bringing in these people who don't fit in who don't fit your community, and you just take them out. But on the same on the other hand, clearly this case was cold-blooded murder, and it seems like it's a part of a bigger network of operations, because again, people are looking at the race aspect of it, but they're ignoring the corruption aspect of it, because one of the persons involved was a were they on the police force? Did they try to be a police? Like, it was something weird going on with that. And then there's a former police officer and the whole network of stuff that they're tied into. I posted it on Black Blab, one of my groups on Blab, and Tree of Logic did an excellent discussion of this when it first happened, because she's actually in Georgia, and so she was talking about what this was really about. And I think that a lot of people just got caught into whatever the media was, or the media and the alt media was presenting about it, without going through the logical steps of looking at what is this really about, what is this even discussing. So I think that now that these people are convicted, we need to look at their larger network that they were basically scapegoated for, because obviously this was one of those type of things, just from the information we have. So I need everybody, all the white people, I need y'all to just step back one step, one tiny little step, and look and see if there's something that you missed, because really in this case it was literally an open and shut case of murder, like unnecessary, possibly premeditated. So whatever they convicted him for, it was not enough. I can tell you that much. So just need y'all to take a step back real quick, take a look at the facts, and then you will see that there's a little bit more there than meets the eye. So that's my comment on that today. Um, so a lot of this stuff. Okay, so let's. Kate. She was commenting on. I retweeted this. And they said, I don't think folks realize how many furries are involved in COVID research and lab testing. I work in a COVID testing lab, and I say roughly 20% of my coworkers are furries, including myself. And we're only testing, not even in vaccine development. And so Kate, love Kate, great follow on the Blab, is furry the new slang word for bestiality? And no, actually, if you've never heard of furry, I actually did a furry stream, which I posted in the comments here, with BTR, who Elev, and Jules and Geo, whom I love dearly. I wish they would spend more time on Blab. It's annoying, but I understand why they're not. Anyway, so we did a whole stream about or with some furries, like the person who wrote the book on the furries, and it was a very interesting conversation, because honestly I had no idea what I had seen it. So like, okay, I just said I wasn't going to do too much commentary, but here we are. So like maybe 10 years ago, maybe a little was the, yeah, maybe like 10 years ago, I'd gone to Atlanta for a conference, and I was walking down the street and I saw like these people in these like weird animal costumes. And I was like, oh, that's cool. I'm going to take a picture. I had no idea what I was looking at. And the person we were with, or somebody, was just like, oh, there's just a convention. They're having a convention. And so I had no idea what I was looking at. And one day I want to dig up the pictures. And so fast forward, like I did this stream, and I had seen about the furries, and had learned more about them. And I think that there's different classifications of them, and there's different ones that engage in different things. But I think it's really like more so a way to be anonymous in real life. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't get to post that, but I think that's more so what the furry culture really is about the desire to have anonymity. And the government is quickly taking that away. So if you put on a costume, and go to a convention, and people just have to judge you based on your costume, not who you are underneath the costume. And I think that that's really sort of what it boils down to. But The fact that, okay, so that being said, then she made some more comments, but the fact that 20% of these people are in a testing lab, I think is a little bit concerning because the people who engage in this type of furry lifestyle or whatever, I wouldn't say that they have no morals altogether, but they desire to be anonymous. And I don't think our scientists should be allowed to be anonymous. They have to take responsibility for what they say and what they do. And when you have so many of them, because basically what comes along with being a furry is anonymity, because when you can put on a costume, you can change your costume. You don't have to go around, talking about it or anything. Like, you could be one person online and a totally different one. You could say you have this costume and you put on a different one. You're somebody totally different. So I think that aspect of it, where you really don't know who is doing what and you have no control over it, definitely is something that we should be concerned about. And the bestiality thing is not so much because they don't think that they're animals per se. It's more like showing reverence to the animals. So I wouldn't really go. I personally wouldn't put that label on it. Having had a conversation with some of them and really hearing different perspectives on it, but I can see why people who haven't talked to these type of people would think that, because that's where our culture is going. Obviously. So I can get it. I get it. Like, I get where she's coming from, but I wouldn't personally go into the bestiality thing. But I do have a problem with scientists believing that they can be anonymous. That's the problem with Dr. Fauci. He's been anonymous, an anonymous person making decisions on behalf of the country, setting policy and all this trash. And look at what we have. We have a bunch of nonsense. So I definitely disagree with um, his ability to be anonymous for sure. And that means that he could be saying stuff online. You won't be able to log it. You won't be able to track it. Nothing. And I don't think that that's right at all. Look at this. Okay, so this is another thing I want to talk about. Low income Americans would gain the most by having a Tesla. So explain to me, like I said, somebody tell me how hood niggas are supposed to buy $100,000 Tesla and park it on the streets. How are they supposed to do that? Does anybody have any earthly idea how a person who is making maybe $20,000 a year is going to buy $100,000 car and then park it on the streets of the hood? How? Like, these people are on a different planet. Like, I don't understand. And then this person, who is new, I've never seen this person before. Somebody tell me how we're supposed to charge all of those wonderful $100,000 Teslas without worrying about fuel prices. This is another thing. People who drive electric cars have no idea what reality is. You get your charge for your battery from a diesel supported device. It takes diesel. It's not electric. Electric doesn't work the way when you charge something, even the solar panels don't work the way people do. At least in Maryland they don't work like the way that you think. When you charge it, when you charge a battery, what it's doing is storing the energy to convert later. But the problem that people don't understand, or what people are missing, is that when it charges, it's got to take energy. It's converting the energy from something to store it as something, then to convert it to something else. So whatever it's taking its energy from, it's still a source of energy that you have to pay for. In the case of solar, it's storing energy from solar panels. However, that's extremely inefficient and it doesn't really work the way that they say. And it also depends on the size of the battery that you have and if they're installed right. And if the temperature is not too extreme where your battery is located, and a bunch of other things that people haven't even thought about. So the point of the matter is, and the energy from the sun is not necessarily free because it's costing us it shines down maybe for free, but with all of the biochemicals they're putting in the atmosphere, that's also, they're trying to dim the sun too at the same time. So there's a lot of problems with this theory. Like, I don't really understand like how people just think that. So, but anyway, outside of that, where you actually, the charging stations where you charge your car, that's powered by something, and it's not the sun. There's no solar panels at Sheets, where you're charging your Teslas at. I mean, in Virginia, that's where a lot of charging stations are at Sheets. So there's no solar panels there. So how are they getting the energy? The energy is coming from diesel engine. A diesel engine is charging your Tesla. If it's in your home, it's the electricity. And where's the electricity coming from? It is coming from whatever your jurisdiction uses for their energy. They might have some solar, but more of it is probably nuclear or something else. Like, it's not free. You're paying for it. Like, you just are. And so, like, where are you going to charge this? If you can't even afford $100 Pepco bill, what you going to do when you have to charge that daggone car every single day? Sometimes more than once a day, depending on how far you have to drive while you're parked on the streets of the hood. That's stupid. Insanity. Oh, I have another group on Gab. Of course, it's typical to come to Gab and or Blab and start a bunch of groups. So another group I have is Shop with Blabbers. So I did retweet some of this stuff on my timeline. Casimir has been talking about some stuff that's going on in upstate New York that I don't quite understand. But if you're in upstate New York, Casimir is really following this stuff very, very closely. A good follow to see what is going on. I don't know about all this stuff because I'm not from New York. But look, one of the contributors was stabbed to death last night. What is going on? Something's going on up there. That's why I got out of Maryland. It was too much. Okay, so listen. Red Elephants posted this video. It's probably making its rounds. You can go and take a look about it. Basically, this foreigner says that he wants all whites genocided, and I say rightly that the this foreigner does not represent the sentiment of Negro Americans, because most of us know we're mixed with white Irish. I am telling you, I know for a fact, a 100% fact. I'm gonna show a picture of my great grandmother. She was not black. Well, my great grandfather wasn't black either. No, not my great grand. Yeah, my great grandmother, and one of my grandfathers was also not black. He was Indian. So that's another story for another day. But the point of the matter is, how can you genocide the white people without genociding Negroes? See, they want us genocided too. And this is another point I would like to bring up to white people. They also want American blacks gone too. Us with ties to Reconstruction, which is what I sort of round us all in, because that's when the first reset was. Well, one of the first resets was Reconstruction. That was a huge reset. It grouped all blacks together, when before it had been obviously by income, and then it was by color after Reconstruction. So Reconstruction era blacks, people who can tie their history to Reconstruction, do not want to genocide anybody. That's stupid. Like, that's stupid. We don't want that. So these foreign blacks, yes, they don't care. They don't have no ties to Reconstruction or to America or to anything else. So I need white people to understand, is different levels of blacks. And a lot of these people who are blacks are not native blacks. They're not Negroes. They're foreigners. A lot of blacks came here in the 70s. And that's when we went from the term Negro to the term black, which is an incorrect term. The term for American blacks is Negro. That's the term. Like, the reason why they got rid of that term and went to black, which first started with W.E.B. Du Bois and the Souls of Black Folk, is because they wanted to blur the lines between the native Negroes who were already here. That might be my baby. He's up. Okay. The native Negroes who were already here and the foreign blacks who came after, like, around the 70s, when parents got their visas from all these other countries and they all thought it was cool to come to America. This is what happened. So don't put those people in the same group with us. And that's all I'm saying. Look at this. Barbados is now officially a republic, ousting the British Queen and inaugurating its first ever president. Good luck. Didn't work in America. The Queen, the sun never sets on a British Empire until we make it set. Okay? So if you think you got rid of the Queen, I don't think so. She'll be back. Okay, here we go. Team Save America. White people are great. The haters are just jealous. The amount of white people in the comments saying all people are great or all patriots are great is sad. I never said that other people weren't great or that other patriots aren't great. The point is that white people are the constant target of relentless racism and attacks every day. You have to defend your race. You have to defend your race. I defend the Negroes, not these foreigners, but I defend the Negroes every day. Every day I will be like, not us. That is not us. This is what we're about. Those people don't represent me. Every single day. You have to do the same. Like, you have to do the same. And for a while, it was like bad to defend your blackness. And this was what, like, basically changed when Obama came in. And it's like, oh, but he's not even black, so it don't even matter. Like, this is just a lie. Like, so you have to defend yourself and your culture and your community. And I also defend white people because, like I said, I have white Irish in my background, and not that far back either. So, um, oh my goodness, baby Q is awake. We're gonna make this quick. Cooking from scratch is a critical survival skill. Look, if y'all don't know how to cook from scratch, you still have access to Pinterest. Go on there and pick one thing to learn how to cook a week. Literally do it. Okay? Look at this. Ghislaine, you get a drawing. Kyle was broadcast for everyone to see. Canon Hotep, I haven't watched that yet. Oh, listen. The real Big Bang Theory. Scientists at Northwestern University in Chicago said they witnessed for the first time what happens when the moment when a new human life begins. A burst of zinc fireworks. That's the Big Bang. What's outside is on the inside. This is good. You're more than a person who was cheated on, suffers from debilitating injury, lost a child, sexually abused, wrongly fired, etc. All these things are terribly painful and are sources of legitimate suffering. But you are not your trauma. I can't right now because baby Q is up. Oh, here we go. Candles. Listen. Okay, if I play, I don't know if you even be able to hear it. No, what did I do? Sorry, guys. Okay. Look at her face! Look at her face! Oh, goodness. I know y'all heard that. Wait a minute. Hold on. I messed up, y'all. I know y'all heard that. I know y'all heard that. Really? No. I'm sorry. All right, one more time. One more time. Listen. Oh, her face is classic. This is crazy. Okay, just hold on. Just hold on. Let's see what happened. It was me. I pressed the wrong button trying to turn the volume up. But anyway, that was at the White House, and it's a group of kids, and one of the kids interrupts Jill Biden and tells her to shut the f up. Hilarious, funny. Um, okay, I don't know what's going on, y'all. I don't know what I did. I don't know what I did. I really don't know what I did. It was stupid. I could tell you that much. Um, oh Lord, I had a few more things I wanted to go through, but the internet is not cooperating with me as usual. But yeah, at the White House, Jill Biden. Okay, first of all, let me talk about her accent for a little bit. That's not a Delaware accent. That is like a Massachusetts accent maybe, or even a New York accent. So I don't know why her accent is like that. Like, if she's from Delaware, like, she shouldn't sound like that. Most people from Delaware sound country. You know what I mean? Like, country. So maybe she's from Pennsylvania. I don't know if she's from Pennsylvania. That's still a little iffy. Like, they don't really talk like that. Most of the Pennsylvanians I've met, they still talk kind of like country, but that whiny thing is kind of like a New York. So she sound like really really weird. Um, Look at this. Still trying to reconnect. I just messed up. Let's see if I can get it to come back up. Go through a few more things, y'all. And we're almost done because I hear my baby. He is up. The king of the castle. Um, Mag. Her roommates have been really sick with the Rona for 2 full weeks, both jabbed, and she's unjabbed and perfectly healthy. And I won't read the rest of it. You'll have to go to the timeline to see that. We'll see if this even comes back up. Oh, there we go. Um, Look, let me tell you something. It's gonna get worse. I don't know if it's gonna get better, but I know it's gonna get worse. Here we go. Brown University confirming what all the racist, alt-right, grandma-killing, conspiracy theorist Nazis were warning about nearly 2 years ago. 2 years ago, when this madness started. Face masks and other social distancing measures may in fact impede children's development, a new study executed by Brown University has found. If you would like to see this, go to my timeline, of course, at Dominique Rebel, and I have reposted, we post on the Blab. Um, Fuentes, I don't know, like, I don't know what's up with that. He's like, average IQ on Gab is like 50. You know, it's like 9,000. But look at what this says. Cool take. Love the guys who show up once every couple months to dump some lukewarm observations and throw out casual, low effort insults to otherwise friendly user base instead of helping to cultivate a better posting environment and build strong, lasting community on the one website that hasn't banned them. Which is true. Listen, what is this? The ways cold weather can affect your body, from winter vajayjay to blood clots. Cold weather gives you blood clots? Come on, man. Cold weather? Okay, that's a new one. When the state commands that which God forbids, or forbids that which God commands, we must obey God. Period. Okay, and this is what I'm going to end with today because we're right at 30 minutes and I can hear the baby. Um, as bad as the Trump legacy is with the pharma cult, if the monarchy doesn't reinstall him soon, they're going to lose complete control of the whole planet. The window is closing for people to be pacified with good times. Next up is blood on the lawn, and that is the fact. Like, it needs to be said, if these people don't fix this very very soon, good times and money flow is not going to solve their problems. No one's going to care about any of that. Okay, they're just going to want revenge. We're getting very 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 close to that point, if we haven't already gotten to that point. I don't see revenge killings yet, so we haven't gotten to that point, but we are very very close to it. So these people need to reconsider their plans, and maybe go in a different direction if they want to slow this thing down. Otherwise, pedal to the metal and let the chips fall where they may. I wouldn't recommend it. I wouldn't recommend it, but I feel like that's the direction that we're going. So I'm gonna end on that today because I hear the baby, and I need to get down there to him. So of course, this has been Good Day Blab with your girl Hotep Sophia, also known as Dominic Rebel. You can find me and all my information again on hotepsophia.com. This is on Blab TV, and eventually I'll start posting it to YouTube until they ban me. I try to say stuff that's YouTube friendly, but you never know. And I think I live streamed this on the Twitter till they ban me, which should be coming pretty soon, or whatever. So tune in. We'll see how the news goes to today. Oh Lord, if it's a lot, we'll see you back here tomorrow, or of course whatever the next day is that the news is just too much, and I have to provide a little exposure to what the Blab timeline is saying. So until next time, happy posting and blessings and light to each and every one of you.